Hello, I am David Alexander. I consider myself the Reverend of Punk because we really do need a new sort of punk rock movement. This is the new printer that Phil here was so kind to help me acquire. So this is a Canon laser printer.
AI is really hurting Gen Z right now. It's made it harder than ever to get an entry-level job. It's having a tremendously negative effect on the environment, draining literally tons of water and electricity every single day. It's driven your power bills to absolute unbearable levels. And to top it all off, it's flooded all your algorithms with a constant, never-ending stream of nonstop AI slop. And the worst thing about all this is it really didn't have to be this way. AI was supposed to be promising, liberating, bringing us all prosperity and freeing us from the shackles of work. It was supposed to lead us to a post-scarcity world where we'd all receive universal basic income and everyone would have unprecedented opportunities to become wealthy. And instead, we got the exact opposite. In fact, not only are we not receiving the universal basic income we were promised, it's been more like universal AI taxes instead. Our power bills have damn near doubled because of the massive energy cost of AI data centers. AI is literally stealing our work. The posts we write online are directly used to train language learning models. It learned how to make art by directly stealing from real artists, and it's not even just about receiving UBI out of economic necessity at this point. We are legitimately entitled, yes, entitled and owed a UBI from these AI companies because we've literally been subsidizing their power bills and training their AI models. And the result of all this is that young people are overwhelmingly skeptical, fearful, and negative towards AI right now, as you absolutely should be. And the sad part about all this is that, again, it really didn't have to be this way. AI, when used ethically and morally, still has the potential to enrich us all and create unprecedented opportunities for the youth. I've experienced this firsthand on this channel. Now, let me be very clear that we do not use AI tools on this channel, aside from the captions. I personally write the scripts, record using my real voice, and the editing is done by my wonderfully talented editor. We even briefly considered removing the AI-generated captions, but decided to keep it in the end after a few of you commented that English isn't your native language and the captions just made it way easier for you guys to follow along. And yes, I do think it's important that this information is free and accessible to everyone, not just native English speakers. But while we hardly use AI tools on this channel anymore, this wasn't the case in the early days when we just started up this channel. Like many of you, I had dreams and ambitions of starting a YouTube channel for a very long time. But the entire process was just so overwhelming in the pre-AI era. I wasn't good at editing videos, I was hesitant about using my real voice, and potentially compromising my identity when discussing such controversial topics. And so for our first 100 videos or so, before the AI slot fatigue really set in, AI tools really helped us kickstart the channel you're watching today. We really wouldn't be here today if it weren't for AI, and it was at this time when I really saw the potential of AI to be of benefit to the world in all the ways they were promising. Universal basic income, ending poverty, allowing everyone to pursue their own dreams instead of working a soulless 9-to-5. And unfortunately, we've all seen that the result has been the exact opposite. The dilemma. The supermassive big YouTube channel Kyrgyzstan made a recent video about how they made the decision to completely cut AI out of the entire video making process. And I had great respect for that. So did most people in the comments. Kyrgyzstan, however, is a massive YouTube channel with over 20 million subscribers and the resources to hire humans for literally every step of the process. The art, the research, the animations, etc. Now, our community is almost 50,000 strong now. It's not a small community by any means anymore, and I'm very grateful for each and every one of you. But the reality is that a mid-sized channel like ours simply would never be able to compete with the size and scope of a channel like Kyrgyzstan without using AI tools to some extent. YouTube is an incredibly competitive game, and like everyone, we have to do our best to put out as many consistently high-quality uploads as possible. And so this left me in a bit of a dilemma here. Option 1, I could try to completely cut out the AI tools like Kyrgyzstan did, but leave myself at a serious competitive disadvantage. Or option 2, I could just use AI when necessary and accept the criticism that comes along with it. But knowing how much AI was hurting Gen Z, I just couldn't do this, as I would end up just like every evil rich person that I love to bash on this channel. Neither option was really good at this point, and for a long time, I really struggled with this dilemma. And then I realized, what if there was a solution to all this? What if there actually was an option 3? Part 3, be the change you want to see in the world. This was a quote from Gandhi that really shook me in a profound way when I first heard it as a kid. You guys probably think it's cheesy and outdated now. Hey, maybe it is, and maybe I'm just having a millennial boomer moment myself here, but it's still something I try to live up to till this very day. AI isn't inherently bad, and even the AI skeptics admit this. The problem is that it's being used in all the wrong ways for all the worst reasons, enriching the very few at the top and leaving everyone else behind. Now, technically, I'm one of the people who did benefit from AI. I wouldn't say it made me rich by any means, but it's definitely allowed me to live a comfortable life without having to work a 9 to 5. I've never been against wealth generated by AI. That was always going to be inevitable anyways. But I have always believed that part of the wealth generated by AI should be distributed in the form of universal basic income so that everyone can benefit from it, and not just a few lucky early adopters like myself. So I'm partnering with Kimi, the sponsor of today's video, to launch my own universal basic income giveaway program to help support the dreams of an aspiring Gen Z artist every single month. Kimi is a rapidly growing ChatGPT competitor with much more reliable information, fewer hallucinations, and most importantly, a great example of how to use AI ethically and morally. In contrast to OpenAI's insane $1.15 trillion commitment to hardware and cloud infrastructure, Kimi has trained a model that surpasses GPT-5 while only using 0.1% of the electricity that ChatGPT consumes. This highlights not only Kimi's efficiency, but also its potential to lead the way in sustainable AI development. We make a lot of historical and economic videos on this channel, which require fast, reliable, and accurate information to be able to get you guys as many high-quality videos in as little time as possible. And this is where Kimi has been an absolute game changer. Trying to use ChatGPT for research was a logistical nightmare. It often hallucinated, giving totally wrong information and straight up making up quotes that literally never existed. And to make matters even worse, it never cites its sources, making everything it says impossible to confirm. Kimi, on the other hand, instantly scours the internet for reliable academic sources and direct links on the sidebar so that you can conveniently check and verify all the information for yourself. And we do this for all of our videos to ensure we're not only providing entertaining content, but also accurate and correct information. Hey guys, you may have noticed we're getting very close to 50,000 subscribers now. This has always been a huge milestone in our eyes, so if you're new here and enjoying this content, definitely consider subscribing and helping us get closer to this big magic number. Thanks a bunch, you guys are the best. Kimi can also be of great assistance, not just in your business, but in your personal life as well. I've struggled my whole life with a relatively rare type of anemia known as thalassemia. It's not a serious condition by any means, but it does cause me to have constant fatigue and low energy at times, which can be a serious drag on life. And thanks to, of course, the amazing American healthcare system, I've never been able to afford to see a doctor who can properly help me with this issue. When I tried to solve this issue on my own, it was really frustrating, as thalassemia is easily confused with iron deficiency anemia, and I tried constantly popping iron pills to resolve this issue, but it only made it even worse. It turns out that when it comes to thalassemia specifically, you actually want less iron in your system and not more. So I asked Kimi to give me a full-on diet plan for someone with thalassemia, and it gave me not only a full-on, comprehensive, week-long diet plan, it explained the reasoning for everything it recommended for more zinc and magnesium, along with black and green tea to help chelate the iron. I followed this diet for about a week, and I really feel like for the first time in my life, this issue has finally been resolved. My energy levels are incredible. My sleep has never been better. I'm able to record lots of great videos for you guys and still have enough energy to do the intense workouts that I love doing in my personal time. Life has just been a lot more enjoyable, and I'm genuinely grateful for this. Now, with the help and support of Kimi, I've decided to donate a portion of the profits I myself have received from AI into directly supporting Gen Z artists with my own proto-UBI-like initiative, unconditional, no strings attached funds to allow young artists to pursue their dreams. This just seemed like the best way forward to me. Rather than hiring them for a job and making them work on my projects, I'm sure they'd much rather pursue their own individual dreams and passions. And that's exactly what we'll be empowering them to do. I'm very proud to announce that the very first Gen Z artist to be a recipient of our own UBI program here on this channel is David Alexander. David is a very talented artist and musician who most of you will heavily relate to. You'll instantly recognize his music as he's the guy who did the intro song for our channel. David is currently working on a project called Babylon right now, a real deep, visceral comic book with a uniquely quirky art style which touches on the themes of corporate exploitation, the loss of community, and many real issues deeply affecting Gen Z right now. David has been very passionate about his comics for a long time, and we genuinely saw how much potential it had, but he just needed a $300 investment to buy a comic book printer. And so that's where we decided to step in.
This is the new printer that Phil here was so kind to help me acquire. So this is a Canon laser printer. And then I have this other one. This is a Epson. This is more for scanning, and this is more for art prints. This is not very good for volume. So this is a laser printer. Much better at being able to churn out pages very quickly.
Thanks to Kimi, we've been given the tremendous opportunity to literally be the change we always wanted to see in the world. We've always believed in universal basic income, community investments in the younger generation, and an AI-powered future where we can all finally quit our miserable jobs and pursue our dreams and passions in life. And rather than waiting around hopelessly for the government or for tech companies to deliver, we just decided, hey, why don't we just do it ourselves? AI isn't inherently bad. It's not inherently good either. It all depends on how it's used, and hopefully this can set a great example of how to use it for the good. David is a perfect example of someone like you, a smart, talented, and ambitious young man who just needed a bit of investment to get his dream project off the ground. He's worked very hard on this comic for a very long time now, and now that he's finally been able to purchase the printer he needed for so long, he's begun to print out the very first physical copies of the book, which are seriously looking very good right now, and I can't wait to order a copy myself. So, if you're a young artist, musician, athlete, or just any dreamer who wants to be able to work on and pursue your own dreams instead of constantly being pressured and forced into getting a normal job, you can apply to be a part of this program. We have a PDF below in the pinned comment and video description for you to fill out and send to us. So long as we're partnered with Kimi, so long as we're profiting off the benefits of AI, we pledge to share a part of the benefits with the entire wider community as a whole, and not just to enrich ourselves. And now I'll leave you with perhaps the best piece of advice David has for any of you aspiring young artists out there.
Whatever it is you want to do in life, life's too short to not spend it doing what you love. So you might as well try at this point. Really, like, what do you have to lose? Shout out to Kimi as well for sponsoring, and